Peace, family. So we back with another one. Today what I wanted to do is I wanted to talk to my chosen ones about mastering your masculine and feminine energy. We are in a weird society today to where we have men mostly intaking their feminine energy, not even understand their masculine energy. And then you have females on the other side of the spectrum who is head gone in their masculine energy and don't comprehend their feminine energy. And with the merge of this technology and everything that we got going on today, and the way that the system has orchestrated things, so most females tend to not have, that don't have a main male in the picture, usually depend on the system. So meaning that they got a job or something that they're doing to kind of compensate for the support of the male. Then you have a lot of males on the other side of the spectrum who is, they are just lazy, super femme, care more about their looks, you know, just all of the other attributes that they should not be concerned with as much. So understanding, like, we in the middle of a prison and the middle of a war. 2, we are prisoners of war. So we're trying to figure out how do we make sense out of this chaos that we're in, because we are the ones that's in it. You know, we can point to other people all over the place, but we're the ones that's actually in this mess. You know what I mean? So as far as us being in this mess, one thing we will have to comprehend is that it's our job to fix ourselves in our space, our proximity. So that is number one and the hugest. If you are working on yourself and affecting your environment in a positive manner, not infecting your environment in a distorted manner, then you're gonna start to understand a lot of these things a lot more easier. So it's weird and it's hard to try to compare too much to our past and how things were back then. Oh, men used to be this way, women used to be this way. Especially when you look at it from the systematic standpoint. When you look at human nature, you have to look at human dealing within nature, not human dealing within man's society. So that's where we get a big part of friction at, is a lot of beings don't know how to process anything outside of the system being here and being in charge. And if you don't know how to connect certain things to nature and to this realm, then it's gonna really distort things for you. But what I start understanding and how I start knowing more of, like, just certain things about, you know, from Beta's position, Alpha's position, you know, Omega's, all the different charters and chapters they got of that whole thing, you know. And then just as far as the feminine energy, and as far as, like, so I always took it on from the male standpoint first until I understood it, because that's me. You know, if I was a female, I'd have probably learned it the other way first and then start looking at it from the other side perspective, because we deal with each other. I believe we don't need to go to school for psychology. We all deal with humans every single day. So that's another way of them thinking that they're more intelligent than you, or just a way to control, so that way you can go get the piece of paper from them so you can go do something within the system. But it really hit me when I was younger, right? Because doing certain things never used to feel or set right. But then I was also never one of those people who like to fake or front or like lie to females to like get the box or to do certain things. That just, it never was me. But when I got older in life and I found myself like making survival mode decisions, and before I really started getting structure within myself, you know, to help structure the environments around me, I was in a beta position that didn't feel well. And what I mean by that is I was in the closer to the stay-at-home position, and my person at the time, because they was already working already at the time, they just stayed at their job, you know. And the only reason I was really in that position was because of their insecurities, you know what I'm saying? They didn't want me at a job. In my world, I'm compromising, and I understood why I was compromising. I compromised because I wasn't fully in my masculinity, you know, and I was thinking and processing myself as a little bit lesser, just because I had been through a lot at the time, and also a compromise. It was a little bit of both. It was like everything is a recipe, so I don't even want to say a little bit of both. It's like a compilation, a little bit of everything. So when I start understanding those things after I came out of that position, because the next position that I was in full charge. I made sure that I was fully providing, you know, I'm always protecting. In Western society, we don't really get to use our protection attributes, so that kind of gets pushed to the shelf, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can put that in a closet, a safe, lock it away. You don't ever have to pull it out, you know? So that's one thing that us men, we thrive on, you know, and we don't get to express that due to the way society is set up. So, and I mean like in a physical manner. Yes, we can do protection spells and work things spiritually, but we operating in 2 realms. And that's just on a lower level. We are actually multi-dimensional, so we operate in a bunch of different frequencies. But just to keep it on layman's terms, 2. And I probably wouldn't have noticed what I was doing if I didn't do something about it differently the second time. So my first full in living situation with a female, I was in their space, you know, under their quarters, their rules. We ended up moving. I got on a lease and all this stuff, but it was still, like I was explaining, like I was still more not leading with my femme, but I wasn't blending the 2 very well. So that's what I would say. I wasn't blending I wanted this charge and this responsibility and this lead position, but I wasn't putting myself in that position. I was allowing somebody else to dictate my movements, and that was something that I had learned. But with my second position after that, I made sure that all the steps that I was doing, I felt like wasn't correct and that wasn't pushing me to being more masculine, then I made sure I worked those areas out like a muscle. When I say I worked them out every day, every chance, you know, whether I was eating it, sleeping it, listening to it, seeing it, all of the above. And once I established myself in that position and I was able to start growing more as well too, it helped me look back at the position I was in, why I was in that position, the energy that was around me, why I allowed it to happen, and I was able to set that aside for a lesson. We learn from our real life experiences, so I just set that aside. It's cooking out here. If y'all see me sweating, it's just cooking out here. I'm on top of this mountain. But that was a lesson. When I got to being in the full lead and being in charge and doing these things, it felt more comfortable. It felt more natural. It felt like, okay, this is where I'm supposed to be embedded at. I'm supposed to just continuously should be growing in this process as well. Not saying like, oh, I made it to this space, boom, that's it, I know what it is, this is me. No, I had hit the point and then I was able to reflect, oh, okay, this is what some of this knowledge and information that I was researching and kind of listening, tapping into, was I'm able to compare it with now with my real life experiences. Your real life experiences help you because you're able to attach energy with those experiences, which creates better memory. So I've always been huge on that. But understanding, like, learning how to blend these 2, like when I was in that position, I didn't really, I understood the compromise, but I didn't really have to look at it like as being a lesser, because it's like, I already know how to cook. I don't have no problem helping cook, you know, around the house, us bing and bada booming. You know what I'm saying? That was never an issue for me. Now, in my world, it's like, okay, I only want to cook like 40% of the time, but that's still a big percentage. You know what I'm saying? I ain't had no problem cooking. You know, I was a stepdad in that position, which I would never step into again unless it's a very golden special occasion, because that was unappreciated. It is an unappreciative position to be a stepdad, which I hadn't had to deal with those again because I didn't step into no more of those positions. But being in those spaces and trying to figure out how to kind of put yourself in charge, how to be in lead, how to kind of just do things to kind of get yourself better flowing. Because when you off balance, it kind of throws off your thought process, whether what you're trying to do for the day or things that you're trying to plan for the future. So as far as like cooking, that was not an issue. I was a chef. Cleaning, I grew up in a black household. You had to clean. And plus I also had cleaning jobs. You know what I'm saying? So cleaning was never an issue for me. That's second nature to kind of clean up behind myself or to kind of help clean up, because if it's clean, then if you have to do something or if I need you to do something, then you actually got more time. We have more time to kind of do what we got to do if we don't have to worry about these little steps, you know? Same thing go for dishes. Same thing go for, you know, help speak life into your person, which we all should be doing, vice versa. But it was a lot of things that the new society connects to the physical effects of kind of being in your feminine energy. You know what I mean? So learning how to blend those two is going to be extremely detrimental to everything that's going on around you, because most men, if you are on your own, you're having to cook and clean and do all of these other things yourself. You're having to soothe yourself in certain ways and certain methods. You know what I'm saying? You're having to take on some of that sensitivity towards yourself. So that's already kind of connected there. And then for the women, if you are leading your man or if you are running your own house, technically you kind of are using your masculine energy, you know? So it's being able to blend the two together. And they have us at a space right now to where we just all bumping heads. Everybody bumping heads. They were like, all the women, we're gonna say y'all too masculine. All the women gonna say, all the men, y'all too feminine. So if we all understand that we all have these attributes and they're interchangeable, then you find somebody that is gonna be, if he's a male, he should be like, I would say like anything above 70, 80% to 100% masculine, and then your 30 to 20% femme. If you got a female, it should be 70 to 80% femme and then 20 to 30% masculine. But most women out here in this witchy society, especially if you're not a witchy female, you're gonna have to be able to use your masculine energy, because it's a lot of weird niggas out here. It's a lot of weird witchy witches out here. So like in a man's world, we're first primary defense, you know. And I know women feel that way about themselves because you're supposed to, but the way the universe is set up, technically y'all are supposed to be secondary defense, but now y'all have to take primary defense. And I know a lot of them be like, oh yeah, well, I got a weapon, I could take care of myself, I could do this, I could do that. But like, if you don't have the weapon, and most women, even if they have to call the police, they feel more comfortable with male police coming through, not female police. You know what I mean? Like fires, y'all. Most people would feel much more better with firefighters being men coming by than a bunch of females coming by. You know what I mean? So it's like a lot of things that's structured that they twisting up for us, and we just gotta figure out how to, you know, you ever got one of them yarn balls where it's just all crazy, you know what I'm saying? You just gotta figure out how to unravel it the right way. But for some of us, and I'm just putting myself in there because I am having a human experience. Some of us is too fucking burnt out with this Western society. Some is too burnt out on Western society. And the ones that you can tell are too burnt out are the ones who could not fathom how they would function or operate if there was no system. For the ones who put themselves in a space of saying they can do it by themselves without the system. These beings have become so delusional and burnt out to a whole nother degree. Even me as a straight masculine divine male, I'm like, I want to have men around me, trustworthy, loyalty, warrior men. I don't, even when this shit crashes, I'm not in a space of saying, oh yeah, I want to do it all by myself. Hell no, because I didn't build this universe by myself, and you know, we're all here to kind of operate and work with each other, so I understand these things. So we just have to do a better job at formulating, you know what I'm saying, your masculine and your femme, because you're gonna have to be able to blend the two. I ain't gonna tell women to start running around being more feminine. You got these witchy men that's doing manipulation, and you kind of have to get more aggressive with them. But the thing is with that, you open the doors to that, and you have to be mindful that the men that are not witchy, you are not putting them in that same category. Do your background check, check their fruits, check their digital history to see what the hell they got going on or what they doing. Even if you don't want to dive too deep, you can bump over social media. It's like, that's a very easy process. It's like checking the yellow pages for us back in the day. You know what I mean? Like, that's just something that is like, it should be required, especially if you don't have a father figure or somebody older helping you choose the men. You know what I'm saying? You just out here free roam to pick as you see fit. How you healing yourself and growing, and then you still trying to put yourself in an available position to be chosen, because women don't do the choosing. You just make yourself available. The women that do the choosing are the ones that's going to sit on men's lap and doing extra stuff. Most women are not doing that. You crack the door open for us. You know what I mean? So, and then it's up to us to be like, yay or nay. Simple process. Then once we get the yay or nay, then it's like, if we're gonna go any further to sex, then you know, we know that's up to you if it's gonna be yay or nay. You know what I'm saying? So we just have to understand the balance and stop being in a position to where, like, if a female is not demonic, understand why she's being masculine to a certain degree. You know what I mean? If a man is not being demonic, then understand why he taps into his feminine energy a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? Like, the way this prison is set up that we all in right now, everybody fucked up. Everybody fucked up. Even the people with money. The thing is like, if you got money, you fucked up health-wise. If you got good health, then you fucked up money-wise. You know what I'm saying? It's not too many people that's balanced in the middle. There's not too many people balanced in the middle. So if health is wealth to you, then be cool with the grind of just being on the minimum, always having bills running on your time. You know what I'm saying? I don't like to say behind, because it's on your time, because you could choose to pay them sooner. You know what I'm saying? We could choose to grind a little bit harder to pay them sooner, but we know that ain't the all end by any means. So, you know what I mean? And then the ones who got the money, they got shitty health. You know what I mean? So they still aren't even doing the best. That's why they're doing all these other things to kind of make up for it. You know what I mean? Like, get yourself together. Why would you go get BBLs? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's retarded. I don't even know what BBL means. I still call it plastic surgery. Like, every few years they figure out a new name to rebrand something. You know, it's kind of like Puffy to P. Diddy. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? But I ain't want to run up too long. We got to learn how to interchange and intertwine our masculine and feminine, because it's a lot of content out here that's shitting on everybody in both directions. You know what I'm saying? And when I look out here in the universe, it don't look like it's a pile of shit out here to me. So even if we are in the Western society, you can tell mostly that it's us weird humans fucking it up, because the rest of nature and life is living. That means that vibration, that frequency, is still harder and stronger than this witchy one that we got going on right now. So keep vibing and thriving in nature. You know what I'm saying? Tapping everything down below. Peace and love to the kings and queens.